Okay, I'm live. I am live. I'm gonna wait till a couple people get on. I just kind of did this spur of the moment. So I know I haven't been regular on live for a while, and I know I'm gonna have to win back a bunch of people. We used to get a lot more than initially than I get right now. So I've already been on for 30 seconds, and it says I got one person. Usually I have more than that. There's Kelly. There's Jason. Yo-yo. Okay, today I want to talk about PTSD. I told you guys I wanted to get into the PTSD part of all this because I think a lot of people suffer from PTSD, and I want to make sure that we can acknowledge that and help people with this. Okay, because there's a lot of people out there that may not even realize they have PTSD. So what I want to do is basically I want to talk about it and get it out there, because not a lot of people are talking about this. They're not talking about how the ketogenic diet can actually help with some of the symptoms of PTSD as well. So let me hit some of this. The mental health professionals kind of describe PTSD as a mental health disorder falling from an individual who either with a series of physical or mental reactions to something they either witness, a traumatic event they witness, or a traumatic event that they've gone through. That's basically it. That's what they deem PTSD is. All right, now there's a lot of signs of PTSD. I'm going to go through some of the signs because PTSD just isn't mental. It could actually be, it could cause physical pains. All right. Like for instance, it could cause headaches. It can cause migraines. It can cause dizziness. It can cause fatigue, chest pain, breathing difficulties. It can cause stomach and digestive issues. Okay. So these aren't just signs for PTSD, but if you're experiencing some of these and you've had some sort of issue that is bothering you, that maybe you went through an assault, okay, whether it was sexual or physical, whether you witnessed somebody in a car crash, whether you yourself you were in a car crash, because all of PTSD, everybody who talks about PTSD, they always equate it to military guys and war. And literally, out of the 8 million people in the United States that are suffering from diagnosed PTSD, only 10% of those people are military. So the rest of those people are, and a lot of them, seriously, are women being abused, whether they're being assaulted or whether they were sexually abused, or a lot of times these things are when you were a child, and you just, it's not about you letting go of the past. It's it's part of you. It's hard to let it go. It's hard to get rid of it. It's really, really an issue, and the ketogenic diet is very helpful when it comes to other issues with the brain. Whether the ketogenic diet is helping with the inflammation on the sugar and the reaction that sugar does to the brain. Okay, well, like how it aids in Alzheimer's and dementia and ADD and ADHD and all these other things, autism, and of course it's definitely going to help with PTSD. Okay, because PTSD is not only a physical thing, but it's also a mental thing. According to the VA, 15 to 35% of the people that suffer from PTSD have chronic pain. That's like say your back is just constantly hurting. It's not always an actual physical thing. It can be partly physical, but part of your PTSD or part of your inability to get over this thing is adding to that pain. Okay, so it's not just something that people just say, it's just take some back medicine or just go to the chiropractor, because sometimes it's more than that. Some of the other things you want to look for if you think you might have PTSD or you might be suffering from this, It doesn't have to be a huge traumatic event. It just has to be traumatic to you. Okay, not everybody deals with the issue as the same way. Okay, what somebody else can get over very easily, somebody else may have trouble getting past. Okay, like for me now, I've gotten one of the symptoms that's really big for me is numbness. Okay, like I could actually probably I could see something really bad and it probably won't affect me. I don't get overly emotional over death anymore. It bothers me, but it doesn't, not like some people will. Okay. Some of the things you want to look for, um, let's see. Some of the other symptoms, I want to keep this on track with the PTSD, is depression and anxiety. That's a huge one for the ketogenic diet, because not only does depression and anxiety like snowball into obesity, but it gets you into some sort of laziness, some less activities, stuff like that, and you're just, it goes into one of the other symptoms, which is withdrawal. Now, withdrawal is just where you lose personal interest in hobbies and hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And all of these things are things that need to be part of an everyday healthy life. Okay, you kind of need a balance of your life. Okay, anxiety is and depression are a big one. Okay, I know I get depressed and my anxiety, and it's overwhelming. Okay, and I'm willing to admit this to you guys. What I don't do is I don't really talk about my issues very well. I don't, not to a professional, which is kind of like I don't know. I kind of repress a lot of my stuff. But that's another symptom. You can actually just say no. You could always just say, well, it didn't happen, or you could just get caught up in work and you just start working more and more and more and more. And you just get yourself into this work mode. You become a workaholic, and you just try to avoid maybe going past that place that it might have happened, or going near that person that it happened with. It's things that you're going to start seeing. Okay, like it's avoidance, it's repression, it's emotional numbing, like I talked about, where you just reduce your feelings for everything. You gradually leads to withdrawal and isolation from social groups. I don't like, for when I'm with you guys talking on here, I don't socialize this much as I do online in the real world. I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't have a lot of friends anymore. I just kind of like, I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I don't have any hobbies anymore. It's just weird. It's just very different. Hyperarousal, jitters. Like, see how I'm always kind of moving. It's impossible for me to relax. I'm not. I guess I'm kind of jumpy. I'm not really jumpy because I feel like I have a lot of control over my environment. Like I constantly am hyper vigilant as well, and I'm knowing what's going on around me. I did have a good vacations by me, thanks. Irritability, indecisiveness. That's not me. I can pretty much decide stuff really quick. My wife, on the other hand, she's very indecisive. We can go to a restaurant and it could take her 10 minutes to look through a menu. It's just lack of concentration, sleepiness, personal, emotional, relationships. All those can be affected by PTSD. These are all signs that I'm talking about. Guilt, shame, like how could you have avoided it? You're gonna Like you're gonna rethink things. I know my wife has survivor's guilt. I don't know what mine is. I can't really pinpoint mine. Mine is just I just I relive that my thing over and over, and I just wish I could have changed so many things. You know, like I just wish it would have never happened, or you know, everything. But let's see, some of the other signs would be like behavioral changes. Like for kids, it's going to be if a kid is very disruptive in class now, if they don't, they're disrespectful, they're destructive behavior, stuff like that. You know, these are also signs of kids not being able to deal with a traumatic event, and that traumatic event could be a dog dying, it could be a grandparent dying, it could be their parents splitting up. It could be, you know, there's a lot of different ways that PTSD will show its ugliness. Okay, let's see. Mood swings is another one. That's pretty self-explanatory. You know, you're high one minute, you're low the next minute, you're back up, you're back down. These are all symptoms of PTSD. So you would think that PTSD is just like this shell shock or your inability to hear loud noises and you get scared. That's what the majority of people think PTSD is, but it's just everything. It's so many other things. Like I talked about the hypervigilance. Hypervigilance means you're always looking around. Like I'm always knowing what's over here. I always know what's going on here. When I'm driving, I know how many cars are behind me. I know if I have a car to my left. My wife like kind of makes fun of me because I'm not big on my mirrors, because I like, she doesn't think that I am. Like when I change lanes, I already know there's nobody next to me, but she doesn't like that I just zip and drive. And I guess I'm an aggressive driver, which could be another sign. I don't know. It's not good. Okay, so the ketogenic diet will help it. It'll help, okay? It will help with the inflammation. The fat will help feed the brain more properly. Sugar on the brain is not a good thing. Sugar on the brain is like drugs in your brain. It's not good, okay? That being said, covering all the PTSD, I don't know if there were any questions. I was trying not to watch the questions. So, because you guys distract me so easily, and you guys like Spivey asking me how my vacation went. Shame on you, Spivey. My wife is on another vacation right now. She is in Chicago. I could not go to Chicago. For one, my leg is still cracked, and two, my dog is not very well. So we decided not to put our dog in a kennel, and that I would stay home with my dog, because my goal, or my request from my wife, is to keep my dog alive. I have to keep my dog alive for the next 5 days. So, and it's going to be close. Might be good, but it might be close. Like, he's still eating, he's still drinking, still doing everything he's supposed to do. You missed most of the live chat. Yes, you have. I want to talk about anything now. If you guys want to talk about PTSD, if you guys want to talk about where Gonzo's been, I sold the bus. You guys remember I was doing the bus? I think I sold the house. I sold the storage units. Jeez, I've been having a busy week. And now I'm trying to reorganize my pantry. There's not enough hours in my day. Um, Talk about PTSD some more, please. Sure, we could talk about PTSD. There's a couple different, like, a lot of people like to think that there's just drugs. Drugs are the only way that you can get through PTSD, or you could alleviate some of your PTSD. But they have so many other ways besides um, like talking about things, which they call what, what's it called? Prolonged exposure therapy, where they just want to talk to you about your issues, and they just keep talking and talking. Now, they also have equine therapy. When my wife talked to the VA about my post traumatic stress, she was worried about me, so she went and talked to them on her own. And they recommended equine, which is horses. Go and deal with horses and talk with horses. Now that would work for my wife, so I think my wife would benefit from that because she loves horses, and horses are so in tune with your emotion. Believe it or not, they're more in tune than most animals, and it's like a service. It's like having a service dog, which would also be another way to help alleviate some of the PTSD symptoms, is with a service dog. But with a service horse, kind of, it's almost the same thing, except it's not as everyday and stuff like that. Now with the horse, like they're in tune with your emotion. You have to pay attention to that horse as well, and the caring of the horse. All that works with the helping of the PTSD. So that's one of the ways that you're going to have it. There's also this magnetic resonance therapy, where they put this thing on your head and it does some weird magnetic coils to the cortex of the brain. It's an unproven procedure, but yet not everything has to be proven to work. Okay, if it helps some people, it helps some people. It's not the same thing as some of the other things, like meditation. Meditation, I think, is a great one. I've bought a couple books on it. I want to learn to do the meditation. The only problem that I see with meditation and PTSD is that it works while you're doing the meditation, but when you stop doing meditation, it all comes back, and they know this. So I don't know that it's a long-term fix. Farmer Meemaw is here. Is that like an alpha stim? I've used one of those. Great for ADHD kids. It is. It's very similar to that. Did you do EMDR? Did you already talk about that? I didn't already talk about that, but I didn't plan on talking about a lot of this stuff this time. But I will bring it up on my next one, Meemaw. If any of you guys don't know Farmer Meemaw, she has her own channel, and she's very down to earth. She's very easy to listen to, and she's very informative. I recommend her. And I'm very proud that she's on my channel watching my life. That's very inspirational for me. It makes me feel better because when other people that are trying to do the same things show up and support you while you're doing it, it makes that much more of a difference. It makes me feel like that at least my message is getting out there to some of these people, and some of these people can pass that message on to more people, and more people can hear it, and more people can benefit from it. And maybe I'll tell you something today that you're going to pass on to somebody, and it helps them. Okay, because that's what I'm hoping you'll do. That you'll see somebody that's going through all this stuff that I'm talking about today, and maybe they're just looking for you to see what they're going through, and you can help them. Okay, because not everybody that has PTSD either knows they have PTSD, or they don't want other people to know, or they try to hide it and they try to hold it in. And I had PTSD for 20 some years. And I didn't let anybody know. And like I got to a point where I didn't even know. So It wasn't until I started seeing all the symptoms, all the signs, that it all started to put two and two and two and two and two and two together. So, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. Linda is somebody I just bought my crafts off the other day. You guys can see it. This little crafty thing right here. I just bought that off of her. This is it's supposed to be like for the center of your table, but I bought like 3 of them. So anyway, let's see, what else could we talk about? I watched this Tiger Fitness guy, and he was so against keto the last time I talked to him that I was so prepared for him today to be against keto, because his clickbait was keto kills or keto causes type 2 diabetes. And it's kind of clickbait. It was kind of clickbait. I don't like doing clickbait, but he does. He's got 300 and some thousand subscribers. He's got 360 some thousand, I think. Something like that. He's got a very good channel. But I totally expected him to be against keto. And what happened was, he's kind of not. He's kind of flip-flopped on me. You know, the last time I had to argue with so many of his people and him, like, he never really spoke out, but his video was so anti-keto. And now he's doing intermittent fasting. He's feeling the benefits. He's preaching the benefits of keto. I'm like, where'd this guy come from? He's totally not the same guy he was a month and a half ago when I went on there, and I even told you guys about this channel, and a lot of you guys went on there and spoke your piece and stuff like that. Let's see, Spivey asks, how much of the weight you kept off after the fast? I think the most I had gained back was 10.2 pounds, but now, as of this morning, I am only 7.7 pounds up since I came off the fast. So I keep losing about, I was telling somebody the other day, I keep losing about 0.4 to 0.6 a day. So I'm really, and I'm not really pushing the weight loss part right now. Like, I'm not focused on, am I gonna, my dog. I'm watching my dog. I don't know what he's doing. I'm on dog duty here today. No, Jason, he's flip-flopped. He literally is, he's keto. That's what I could say. He's literally switched. Like, his latest video, like, I couldn't argue with him. I was all prepared. I was all ready to see what he was all about today, and to debate him over keto and the benefits of it. And right off the bat, he says there was a study that just came out, and it talks about how the ketogenic diet is bad and can cause type 2 diabetes. And he says, it's nonsense. I was like, back up. What? I was like, how is this guy? He says, no. He says, here's what happens. He says, he says, in the very beginning, it could cause type 2 diabetes. And he says, he explains it this way, which is very, very smart and very probable. He says, when you go from being on carbohydrates to switching over to ketones, there is that gap, that 4 to 6 week gap, where your body doesn't know how to deal with you being off of carbs and off of sugars and trying to get on the ketogenic diet and becoming fat adapted. And he explained it very well. Bernie's right here. He's chewing on his calcium block. I gave him a banana flavored one. It's either banana or pineapple. And then I gave him a strawberry one. So they're like, that helps with their beak, and it helps with their nutrients. So he's messing with that right now. Yeah. He's just hanging around, playing with his toys now. See if I do that, it's going to get him started. Yeah, right? I know, Jason. It's really weird. Let's see. I read all your responses to this guy and his followers. I was proud of your responses and how you handled yourself. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Was that today, Susan, or was that last time? Let's see. Kama says, hello, I've had PTSD since 2004. I'm very sorry. It has been extremely bad for years, then improved with time, but it's been bad again. Don't get it. It's being keto I've been keto 6 months. What could be happening is there's triggers. There's triggers for PTSD. Sometimes we don't know all those triggers are. Sometimes our brain could say, it could go all the way to something so simple as what you ate that day, that traumatic event happened to you. You could have said, oh yeah, my brain when I ate those French fries and that grilled cheese sandwich, and then the next time you might have just had those, and your brain just started to remember those things, and then they start to flood back in. It's not easy getting over PTSD. People like to think that it is, but it's just not. This is the shirt right here. This shirt says it like it is. It's not. It says it's not the person refusing to let go of the past, but it's the past refusing to let go of the person. That's my PTSD shirt. So that's what it is. It's not about forcing yourself to be able to let go. It's that the past is the past, and it's hard to just forget about it, and it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to accept what happened, and there's no one can tell you to just get over it or just accept it, because it's just, it's up to you. It's how you are going to be able to do it. How are you going to be able to live with it? How are you going to be able to handle it? And whether you get over it or you don't get over it, you just got to keep trying. Okay, you just got to keep going. You got to, and some of the ways of getting through it is to have a good close net group of friends, and that's what I deal with you guys. You guys are literally my close friends. So there's my buddy right there, Ronnie Glycifer. As a matter of fact, he's there. Ronnie's here. Hey Jeff, how are you? I see Jeff just said hello. Life is good. So, what else are we going to talk about? My ex-wife triggers mine big time. Thank God for the girlfriend who now handles the plans to pick up my kids. That's a big one. Jeff says, I have PTSD for 25 years. Thanks for being here, man. You're welcome, Jeff. Absolutely. And I've been dealing with PTSD myself for well over 25 years, so I know I'm right there with you, Jeff. And I 100% agree on that. 100%. I think more people need to be talking about PTSD. I think it's an issue. And you guys know I give these now with Patreon people. I have that Patreon account. If you haven't seen it, it's going to be listed in my in the description below. So if you want to help out, donate $1 or $2 a month. It does take up a lot of time. Oh, Ronnie, I'm sorry, buddy. He just messaged me. Yeah, I get it. That sucks. Yep. And PTSD could be anything. And I'm sorry, Ron. I'm here for you, brother. I am totally here for you. I hope you're still online. You can hear me. I'm always here for you, brother. This is what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this so that you guys know there's definitely somebody else that's looking out for you on this thing. Okay, good. I'm here for you, bro. So if you want to talk after we get off, I'm good. I'm here. I got nothing else. I'm just dog watching, just hanging out. Even if we just talked about lifting. Yeah. All right, thanks. All right. Call me later, bud. But PTSD is something that I've been dealing with for such a long time, and I've learned so much about it. Like, I probably know more about PTSD and the symptoms and some of the it's weird because some of there's some benefits to it. It's not all bad. Like for me, my job requires me to pay attention to what's going on. Well, Vicky, you need to message me your address, and I will send you one of these. Okay? What they say is it's a PTSD ribbon. Comes with a little pin on them. Okay? I haven't mailed any of these out yet because nobody's been giving me mailing address. But message me, give me your mailing address, and I will send you one of these. It says Going Gonzo-KETO Diet on the one side and PTSD on the other. And all my Patreons that are doing donate for help me with my monthly stuff, help me out, I'm giving out one of these because these things cost me like $5 a piece to have them made. But I'm willing to share because you guys are helping me out with my expenses and thinking enough of me that you're willing to and you have that extra income that you can do that with. Some people don't, and I get it. Not everybody has expendable income and can afford to go to my Patreon page and give me $1 or $2 a month. But I get it. Not everybody can do that, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But those that do, I am appreciative, and I will get you one of these. Okay? Just message me your email or your mailing address, and I will send you one of these out. Okay? And you can wear it. We can get that out there. Because this is the color. This is the color for PTSD. Okay? If you guys didn't know, this is the color for the ribbon. This is what, like every ribbon has its own color, and PTSD is this light blue one. And I've been eating really well lately. I did have like 2 fries the other night, steak fries. I was at a restaurant, and my niece is visiting from California, and we wanted to go to this burger place. So I got this 1 pound Angus beef. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Thanks, buddy. I got this Angus beef. Yeah, Vicky, I hope it does help too. I hope it does. I got this Angus beef with bacon, egg, some cheese. I think it was pepper jack cheese, and it was a 1 pound patty, and it was hard to eat. Like, it took me a while. No, I know you are, Vicky. I know you are, and I appreciate that. You are, and I know there's a lot of you guys. Jason is, and that's all awesome. Yes, Angus is very good meat. It's grass-fed. And I just wasn't in the mood for vegetables that day, so I didn't have any. So I just had that. I did have a small salad. They gave me a small salad, but it's nothing special. It's just a small house salad. That's nothing. But my niece had some French fries, so I just kind of reached over and stole some of her fries. Anyway. You ate that before? Okay. Yeah, Angus is good. A lot of times it's grass-fed. So, what are we doing today? Anybody have any comments, concerns, questions, issues that we can help out with, talk about, whatever you guys want to do. When am I going to try the carnivore diet? I don't think I'm going to try the carnivore diet. And here's why. I like vegetables. Okay? I like my coffee with my MCT oil. I think my MCT oil helps me with my ketosis because I do quite a bit of it throughout the day, throughout the week. I believe that the way for a carnivore diet to work properly is you have to eat organ meats. That's where you're going to get a lot of your vitamin C from. If all you're eating is meat, you are not getting much vitamin C. And they claim that eating carnivore doesn't require you to eat a lot of vitamin C, but yet carnivore really kind of is about going back to what it was, and that's including organ meats, kidney, liver, heart, brain, stuff like that. These are things that I am not too keen on eating. Just not. Now maybe Spivey over there and his little island over there, he might be part of that. I'm just not willing to do it. Does keto help with PTSD? It will. It will help. How long does it take to start feeling any relief? It's on the person, Canna. It's all on the person. It depends on how deep your PTSD is. It depends on what other things you're doing to help your PTSD. Are you talking to a professional? Is there something? Are you able to still have a hobby that can take you away from, always thinking about it? There's melatonin. I have this stuff sitting on the counter. It's called Calm. It's this powder stuff that helps me to get to sleep at night. It helps with the brain, and there's different little things like that. So there's a lot of things that are gonna have to work in your favor for it to work right. And that's, eating carbohydrates and sugars feeds the brain such crap that it's gonna make your PTSD even worse. Like, they have brain scans that I'm gonna show on some of my other videos. They have brain scans that show what a brain looks like on PTSD and what a brain looks like on drugs and what a normal brain looks like. And the brain on PTSD and drugs looks very similar. Pam felt that was the wrong thing if her reading was wrong. Freaked me out. 30 blood glucose is very low, Pam. Oh yeah, that's very low. That's very, very low. That's too low. Pam, eat something. Did 2 days of carnivore and had glucose of 30 before lunch, 90, and now 90. Thoughts? 90's not bad. 90's okay. 30, that's terrible. That's bad. That's scary. I just did my reading earlier today. It was 81, and my ketones were 1.8. Let's see, Cindy Brown. Sorry you missed it too, Cindy. Welcome. Cindy's here. Kama, I took myself off meds. Too many bad side effects. Did talk therapy. No help. Lost everything due to it. Thanks for help. You're welcome. Kama, I took myself off my meds. I was going through the therapy, the talk therapy, and I didn't like the side effects. And I still don't like talking to them. And I still don't like discussing my stuff because it makes me very suicidal or makes me just want to punch somebody. Okay? I don't like who I am when I'm talking to these people about my issues. I don't like it. I know it's probably going to help somehow, but I'm still not that point yet. Still. I don't take my PTSD out on a lot of people, so most people don't know I have it. I like to feel like I am a functional PTSD person. Pretty functional. I have a job. I don't drink. I don't take drugs. I'm not harming anybody. I'm not abusing anybody. I don't get into fights. I think I'm doing okay. To a point. Is there a chance where I would knock somebody out over something stupid? Yeah. I get to that. I really have to restrain myself mentally when certain things happen. Certain things trigger. There's a lot of triggers. I have a lot of triggers. And I know those triggers. So when I know that trigger is starting to happen, I know how to deal with it. My dog's trying to get up. I don't know why. All right, guys. Well, it's been 41 minutes. I really need to get this going. Until you tell these stories with the emotion in them. Yeah, it's tough, Cindy. I get it. It's really tough. It's tough to talk to these people about my, about your past, about your issues, about your traumatic event. I don't want to relive it. There's this one of these therapies that's not drug related, which is virtual reality, where they kind of push that virtual reality feeling right back on you as if you're reliving this whole thing all over again. I don't get that one. That one is just cuckoo to me. I'm like, what? Why would you want to have that, relive that? I don't know. I don't know whoever thought of that one. I don't like it. All right, guys. Hey, I want to thank everybody for showing up today. This was my mainly a PTSD video, but it's always keto. It's always going gonzo. If you want my Patreon page, look for me. It's Going Gonzo-KETO Diet on the Patreon page. If you can help out, I appreciate it. If you can't, I understand. Anybody who does support me, though, will get one of these. Okay? And you will always have my support, no matter what, whether you can or you can't. So I'm always here for all of you guys. I just want you to know that it's just not always keto for it. All right? It's just not just keto for me. I care about you guys, and I know PTSD is so prevalent, and obesity is, and depression and anxiety, all those snowball, and yeah. So. All right, help your friends, help your family, look for these signs, watch the video over again. I pointed out a lot of signs that you could look for, help your loved ones. Okay, that's it for today. I'll try to get back here tomorrow. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.